You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Welcome to Chatty Daddies. All right, so we are three daddies chatting about the ups and downs of parenthood.
Each episode, we're going to be talking about our experiences and our opinions on the challenges that parents face each and every day.
Are we experts? No. But we're here to help each other out so we can all be the best dads we can be.
On today's episode, you're going to get to be introduced to each of the daddies and learn about us and our families. So we'll begin with Trey, who's going to be the newest daddy of the bunch.
Ooh, Trey, I'm nervous for you.
I've got just a few more months before my first child is born. We're going to have a little baby boy. My wife, Kara, and I kind of go back and forth between being super duper excited and having severe panic that we're going to ruin a human being and bring up a monster.
Yeah. Now, how long have you and your wife been together, Trey?
We've been together for almost a year now.
Uh-huh.
And we're very happy. We just bought a house, bought a new car, got a baby on the way. We're living the dream right now, and I know we're going to end up having to pay the bill at some point. Something's going to go wrong soon.
Now, hold on one second. You've been married for a year, but you guys have been longer, right? Been together longer than a year.
Yes, we've been together for 4 years now.
Okay, I thought you were like... I thought you got her knocked up real quick, and you were just...
I know. I was thinking, is my timeline off here? Because I remember this. I remember Trey's story very differently.
Nick, what about you? Tell us your backstory.
So my name's Nick Adams, and I have been with my wife now... Oh, boy, I just roasted you on you not knowing your timeline. Let's see. We started dating when we were roughly 15. We are now married for 9 years. This fall will be 9 years. Her name is Blair, and we have two great kids. We have a son named Davis, who's about 3.5, and then a daughter named Ellie, who is 1.5. And, man... my son really tests the boundaries of how angry I can get. He's really testing the limits, guys. That's what kids do. They teach you patience, and I'm learning a lot. I don't know what my grade is on the patience just yet, but it's been a lot of trials. It's been a lot of ups and downs, I would say.
You're in the terror stage of the toddler life.
Man, I am. I've heard of the terrible twos. Then there's a three-nager, and what I've been told is that it gets better when they hit 4. We have a lot more good days now than bad days, but man, those bad days can be wild,
brutal.
Have you had tears?
You know, I'm sure I have. Yeah, it's not like a bawling tears, but it's just like, what is happening? I don't have an answer for this. This kid has turned into a demon from hell, and I don't have an answer for this. You know, there's not a parenting book out there that tells you what to do. But I also think that we are not necessarily in the minority. I think that there's a lot of people that deal with pretty crazy kids. They just don't talk about it a lot, and that's kind of what I want to hope. That's what I hope we can do with this podcast, because life is not all Instagram posts and Facebook captions. You know, you don't see people posting videos of their kids having a breakdown at a restaurant, but it happens. We've all been there. We've all seen the table on the other side of the restaurant and a kid throws the tortilla at his dad's face. It happens, you know, and that's what we want to talk about, is the nitty-gritty stuff.
That's right.
So, now, JC, you are the father with the most experience. Your kids are a little older than me and Trey, so what is JC? Who is JC? What are you all about?
I do have the most experience, so I have had all the tears and the fights and all the... all the things that Trey and Nick are going to go through here shortly. I'm married to my wife. Her name is Kinsey. I've been married to her for 10 years almost, and we've been together for 18 years in total. She's my college sweetheart. And, man, I have an 8-year-old son. His name's Kason, who just got his cast off today.
Nice.
First ever. So I'm in the stage of he's doing dumb stuff and breaking all sorts of stuff. And then I got a little girl named Chloe who's 6 years old. And she is an angel, but I say that because I'm her dad, and I think she has me wrapped around her finger. And I can fully admit that I finally came to the realization that I take it a lot easier on her than I do on my son. And I hate saying that because I thought I was going to be an equal opportunity father. But I don't know, something about the different sexes with kids, it changes you mentally, and I approach everything differently with both of them. I don't treat them the same, which sucks.
Do they notice?
Yes. My son has started to be intelligent enough to notice that Chloe does get off a lot easier on certain things.
Here's my backseat opinion on that. I feel like with our oldest ones, we put a lot of expectations on them. Like with my son, he's very disrespectful and, doesn't listen and stuff like that. And so I feel like since he's older and he's been around longer, he should know better. And so even though he's only not even 4 yet, I feel like he should know better than the younger sister. So I'm then harder on him when he does mess up, when really he's just a kid, like he doesn't know how to handle his emotions well. So I feel like, JC, you and I might be in the same boat where I am harder on him and easier on the little one. And I think that's just because I'm putting expectations on him that are not necessarily realistic. Because I've told him no 100 times when I've only told my daughter 10 times.
Trey, what you're going to notice with kids too, and this is the one thing that I've had to get better at as a father, as a dad, is that when they start talking and walking and having personalities, you deem them to be almost at the same intellectual level as you when it comes to making the right choices.
Totally.
And right, and you're going to struggle. You struggle with the fact of, I told them not to do this, but they do it anyways. And you think to yourself, what the hell is going on in their damn brain? Why can't they be adults like me?
Right.
And that is as dumb as that sounds. That has been one of the toughest things to maneuver as a dad.
Got it.
No, I'm right there with you because like I've said, it's a big disrespect issue in our house, and even just like handling his emotions. And even though we say no to watching a TV show, that doesn't mean he should flip out and cry. He still has a room full of toys, and so it's like I expect him to act like he's a 40-year-old well-adjusted man, but he's not even 4. You know what I mean? So
right.
I can't. Sometimes it's hard to separate that fact. I have to always tell myself he's a kid. He doesn't understand that he shouldn't talk to his grandma that way all the time. But so yeah, you're right, JC.
I'm excited about doing this whole podcast because you two are really pretty darn good fathers in my eyes. I will be the first to judge anybody. I'll make a snarky comment. I'll joke about anybody, pick on whoever, but Nick Adams, you're one of the most reasonable people I've ever met in my lifetime, almost annoyingly so. You always have a level head, and so I'm both interested in learning how that kid gets under your skin, or both kids get under your skin, and get you to not be so reasonable, and then also how you get that level head back, because I know I'm going to need a couple of those things. Yes. And JC, I know you've had your own family life that's been in turmoil, and you've put your whole nuclear family together with Kinsey, Kaysen, and Chloe to be really a model family for America. They're adorable kids that seem pretty well behaved, that are on the right track, and I know that that's because you and Kinsey are doing the right thing leading, and I'm really excited to learn something, and I'm glad you guys are here to help me out with a little bit of info and knowledge.
Now, Trey, we're not going to be right. I want you to know that we're not always right, no. But we can tell you. We can tell you what's worked or not.
Let me tell you this, dude, because when we first got pregnant with my son with Kaysen, it was our first kid, and so we went by the book. I mean, we got the books. We read them. I had little notes on each one of them. I highlighted everything. I went in, and as soon as that little head popped out, it was everything I had read was gone. It's like, okay, no, this is not what the book said was going to happen. It's completely different. Everything changes. And what you will notice is that somehow your instincts kick in. It's just the wildest thing, dude. Never changed a diaper probably in my life. And then as soon as a little naked baby was in front of me with a poopy diaper, it clicked.
Dad
Yeah,
mode, dad
it's
mode
true.
activated.
It just clicked, yeah, bro. It's the weirdest thing. It just something clicks in your brain, and like this maternal or paternal instinct just kicks in, and then you get going. That's the number one thing dudes are mostly afraid of is am I going to be a dad? Am I going to be able to do all those things?
See, I
Now-
know I'm going to be there. I'm not worried about being a deadbeat dad or a guy that runs off. It's my problem is
many
it
things.
good that I'm there? Because I'm really just a 16-year-old in my mind.
Trey, what's great about being a new dad, and by what's great I mean what sucks, is that everyone will give you their opinion and their advice on how to do things, and most of it is garbage. And so that might be kind of confusing with this podcast where we give unsolicited advice, but we're just letting you know you're just going to have to take what works for you and throw away what doesn't, because so many people I'm sure you've gone shopping for a baby registry stuff. So many people are going to tell you what you need. Half of that junk you don't need.
Right.
And you're going to need other stuff. So you're just going to have to take bits and pieces from different people and figure out what works best for you. But I want to get back to life before kids. So Trey,
Oh yeah.
how did
right.
you meet your wife, Kara?
Oh, well, we were at a charity event, and I was working at the charity event, saw this pretty blonde girl, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot. Going to take my shot. And luckily, she was single at the time as well and was open to the idea.
And how old are
And
you
Nick-
guys?
I'm 30. She is 32.
Wow, an older
Oh, so
woman.
Yeah.
What's it like being with an older woman?
Oh, well, she's experienced, let me
Right,
tell you.
yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
knows a thing or two.
Wow, those cougars.
Not like about sex. She just like knows how to do
like-
stuff, like her bank account's
Life.
full and
Yeah. Oh.
things like that.
And Nick, you and Blair, your wife, you guys have
Yes.
known each other since high school. You said 15 years old.
Yeah, 15. I remember I was taking her on a date, like a big dance or something in high school, and we were dating, and I did not have my driver's license at the time. So I remember rushing to the DMV to get my driver's license. That's how long we've been dating. And so we're both 32 now, and we're both 33 now. We both just had birthdays this year. And you know, one of the things I like our little love story a bit. I feel, like Trey says, I feel like we kind of made a level-headed decision. While we were dating in high school, we each had friends and siblings and family members that were older than us. So we saw every combination of high school relationships and what happens to them after high school. You either stay together and stay in the same hometown. You go to the same colleges together. You go to different colleges and you try and do long distance. And none of them work. Mm-hmm. None of them. Because
Never.
one person is going to hold the other person back. They get resentful or they become lame and don't live a fulfilling college experience. And so we hadn't even been dating that long, I don't think, but we had just kind of talked about how that stuff doesn't work and how we didn't really want to do that. And then fast forward, we ended up dating for several more years of high school, and it was just kind of a known thing for us that we were gonna split up. And it was kind of unsaid, but we just knew it was going to happen. And then one night it was like in August, and we were about to move in to the dorms. We were each going to different colleges. I went to A&M, she went to Baylor. And I was sitting at her house, and we were a few weeks away from moving away, and I was like, I think it's about time. And she agreed. We cried. It sucked, but we were able to live a fun, fulfilling college experience. We dated other people, and we just always knew, like, okay, someday down the road we'll give this a shot again. And then we started dating our 5th year of college, and we got married a year or so later, and now we've got some kids and stuff together. So it worked out well. And we were kind of like openly dating in college. We still visited each other a lot. So she knew my friends, I knew her friends. So whenever we did finally get back together, it wasn't a weird transition. I'd been at parties with all the dudes in her circle. She had hung out with all my college roommates. It was cool. Everything worked out. So
Did you ever meet any of the people she was dating, and did she ever meet anybody that you were dating?
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. One situation for each of those. I remember once, oh, my gosh. Once we had planned ahead of time. A&M was playing Baylor in a football game. It was in Waco. And we had kind of planned ahead of time, a few months ahead, that I was going to go to the game and we'd like hang out. I wouldn't have the same seats as her, but we would just hang out. And so, I was going there with a bunch of friends from my college. And so it's, I don't know, a week or two ahead of time. And she tells me, hey, I'm going to go to the game with another guy. It's like a date kind of thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. But oh well, I'll still just go and have fun. It's a big stadium, right? I won't see her. Our seats were like 5 rows behind her and the guy.
No.
Just randomly. It was completely random. And so like the whole game, all I'm doing is sitting there staring at them. They were fine. He was a very respectful guy. He wasn't like drunk and throwing up or on her or like trying to make out with her the whole time. But it was just awful. It was
but secretly, did you wish he was kind of a douche? Like you were kind of
for
hoping
sure.
he would be a douche.
I had in my head that he was the biggest douchebag ever, and then fast forward to now, like I don't know him, but like I know his circle of friends and stuff, and he seems like a very nice guy. So
how jacked was he? Like was he just like a Mack truck of a human being?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't at all. Not a lot of Baylor guys are. There's a lot of just frat daddies, just kind of normal guy. And
think you could have taken him?
Shots fired at Baylor.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I couldn't. I'm terrible at fighting. I have zero muscle mass. But also, the odds are against me. Gang mentality will kick in, and they'll just start beating up the guy in the maroon shirt. It doesn't matter.
That's a good point.
That's a good
point.
And he's there with all his frat
reasoning.
dudes. Yeah. But luckily that didn't work out. And then I remember one time when Blair and I were starting to date again. So she gave me the phone call and it was like, hey, maybe we should start seeing each other again. And I had to tell her, ooh, bad timing, because I need to tell you that I'm like starting to date another girl. And so we don't talk for like almost a full, like my senior year. I'm dating this other girl. Anyways, fast forward to we split up. Blair's visiting me now in college. I remember we were at a bar and Blair was with me and the ex was there. And I remember there was like one time where like Blair went to the bathroom and the ex came up to talk to me. And then I'm pretty sure, I've never asked her, but I'm pretty sure Blair saw the ex like leaving as she was coming back. I've never asked her about that, but that was a close call. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I do have to say what the three of us have in common. One, we all work for the Kid Craddock Morning Show. And two, we are all married to smoking hot blondes. So, JC, tell us about your blonde wife.
So I met my blonde wife, Kinsey, in college. After my freshman year of college, I was not a prized type of a guy. I didn't have a house or an apartment for that matter. I was actually homeless at the time, and I was living in my truck. And I had just scored really cheap rent at a frat house, and so they were having a party. It was like a like end of the year type party or end of the semester party. I remember, and it was like a '70s party.
Oh, I was going to ask if it had some sort of offensive theme to it. Like
always,
like
it's
pimps and hoes, or yeah.
It's either toga or biker or hip hop or but this one was a '70s party. So your boy got a wig. So I was wearing a big old Afro wig, and I had, which would be cultural appropriation nowadays. People don't do that, please. And I had the shirt that was buttoned down all the way. And at that time, I couldn't eat very much. So I was very skinny and had no muscle at the time. And some bell-bottom pants, and I tried to walk up to her and dance because I remember seeing her before, and she flat out looked at me and laughed in my face.
Was this like a cool dance? What kind of dance are we talking? Like, were hips forward or what?
I think like Juvenile Back That Ass Up was up.
Okay.
Which the music didn't even match the theme of the party, which at times would piss me off in college. It's like if you're gonna have a '70s party, have '70s music, But anyway, so it was like a rap song, and I fancy myself to be a decent dancer when it comes to that. And so I tried to get up there, and she laughed at me. I ended up dancing with her sister, who was with her in that group. So I danced with her sister, who I later found out was 15 at the time.
Oh,
again,
wow.
don't take 15-year-olds to frat houses. That's not.
Yeah, bad idea.
We don't check IDs. And so I remember after I danced with Kelly, her name's Kelly, my sister-in-law. And so I went back to my room that I was just moving into, and the guy that I was rooming with, his name's Chris. He had a bunch of pictures, like collage of pictures, just bunch of girls, him and girls. That's all it was. This wall was just him and girls. And I glance up and I see a picture of him with Kenzie on that wall. And he goes, and I point at that picture and I was like, dude, that girl just literally laughed in my face and would not dance with me. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, that's Kenzie. Yeah, she's a wild one. I remember him saying she's like a wild horse. You can't tame Kenzie or something like that. Yeah, I was like, whoa. So challenge accepted at that point.
Of course.
Yeah, and I looked at him and I was like, I bet you I could get that girl to go out with me. And he goes, nah, man, I doubt it. She goes for like older guys and this and that, and basically tries to talk me out of it, and did a great job because I was down in the dumps. I was like, okay, I guess never mind. Fast forward to about a week later, we're doing a barbecue at a friend's house, and I'm sitting on these steps eating a steak, and who walks in? Kenzie. She walks in with my roommate's girlfriend. And she looks at me, and we make eye contact, right? But it was kind of a weird eye contact. It was like like, okay, like what's going on here? And I just went back to eating my steak, and she starts approaching me and sits down next to me, and she goes, what are you eating? Yeah, she goes, what are you eating? And I said, well, it's clearly steak. And
What are you, an idiot?
Smooth.
I'm gonna be honest,
man.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I was not the nicest guy because I was still my manhood had been basically chopped. Right, I was still kind of sore about the last time I saw her. So I was like, it's clearly steak. And she goes, oh, can I try it? And I say, sure. So now I had never spoken to this girl, and she just asked me for a steak. So I cut a piece up, gave it to her, and then my roommate's girlfriend says, oh, my friend got in a car accident. I got to go. And it was like that. It was like Cinderella almost. Like, oh, what? No, like you're leaving? And so she goes, I'll give you a ride back to the fraternity house to her and my roommate. And she looks at me and she goes, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm not doing anything here. So I leave that place and get dropped off back at our place. And she's kind of staring at me all funny, but I don't do anything about it. And I just get out and say thank you. And I go into my room. And the next morning, I'm sitting there on the computer. Remember AOL Instant Messenger?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure do. What was your screen name?
So your boy SC Pimp 5 was hanging out in the chat room.
Oh, my gosh.
All right,
Yeah.
well, pause right there. Nick, go ahead. What was yours?
Mine was UNC Pookie 33.
UNC,
Pookie.
like North Carolina?
Like the school, and then Pookie, like an embarrassing nickname, and 33 was just my favorite number.
Nice. I was Hey Dude 10811.
Hey, dude. Like,
Hey,
hey,
dude.
dude, from the Nickelodeon show?
Yeah, and later on it was Bait Shop Boy.
Oh, man.
Okay.
And-
Bait Shop Boy.
Did you work at a bait shop?
I played on a little league team called the Mudcats, which is a different way of saying catfish. And
Okay.
so we had hats, and on the back it said Bait Shop on the back of the hat. And the hottest girl, Shannon Eastwood, walked by one day, and she's like, oh, you're the Bait Shop Boy. And I thought I was the coolest guy in the whole wide world. Turned that into my AOL screen name.
I like
Back
that.
into your story, JC.
Is Mudcats like not like the white trashiest name for a Little League baseball team ever?
Yes.
It
what we
almost
were
sounds
going
racist. I should Google it.
I don't think it is.
Trey,
I think you should be okay.
You are from a smaller town where the name of a Little League baseball team would be Mudcats and be totally normal.
Right, yeah, didn't even think twice about it.
So
But,
back to you, JC.
So SC Pimp 5 in the chat room having a good time, asking all the girls ASL. You know how it goes. And all of a sudden I get this, remember that? And then I get this screen notification that says, Blonde Bombshell 83 would like to speak to you or
Wow.
wants to chat. So I'm already turned on based on that name. And I'm thinking it's just one of the girls in the chat room because that's how we used to try to get girls back in the day. And so I click accept, and it just says hi. And I go, ASL? And then the phone rings, right? We have a phone in the room, and so the phone rings, and I answer it, and it's a girl, and it says, hey, is Chris there? And I go, no, he's not here. Can I take a message for him? And she goes, yeah, it's Kinsey from the other night. And I said, oh. And in my head, I'm going, this son of a bitch is stealing the girl I like.
Yeah, that's why he
Oh,
told you. That's
and I was
why he
like-
told you she was Wild Horse.
Yeah. And I'm like, and he has a girlfriend, and like she just wrote like, I'm like, this freaking player, what a dude. Okay, I was like, yeah, I'll let him know you called. And she goes, is this Jose? And I said, yeah, this is Jose. And she goes, oh, okay. And then I again don't talk to her because I'm an idiot and I had no game back then, and so I hang up the phone. And then on the messenger, she goes, it was nice talking to you. And I said, we just started talking. And she goes, no, it was nice talking to you on the phone. And I said, oh, this is Kinsey? And she goes, yeah, what are you up to today? And I said, nothing. And she goes, do you want to go for a hike? She asked me to go for a hike. I said, absolutely. So she came and picked me up in her teal Honda Civic. And then we went for a hike in this place called Cow's Mountain. And then afterwards, she said she was hungry. And I said, well, I happen to work at a restaurant. And so we drove to the restaurant I worked at. And I walked in the front door. And, dude, if you could see the faces of the guys in the kitchen and my manager that was working, like me walking in with this hot blonde girl, they were like, who'd you kidnap, you know? And I walked up, and I realized I had forgotten my wallet.
Oh.
And so,
Oh, God.
So we order, and I let her, I was like, oh, yeah, go sit down, because it was an order, and sit down. And I look at my manager, I'm like, dude, I forgot my wallet, Robert. And he goes, I got you, man. No, this is you coming here with a girl like that here. And he gave me my meal for free, and then he gave me like $3 so that I could tip my guy that was going to take care of our table.
Smart.
Yeah, like my manager was such a cool dude. And so we had our lunch, and then we went back home, and as she dropped me off, she just stared at me, and we kissed. And we, I swear, hung out ever since then. That was the first time we hung out, and ever since that we saw each other. We moved in together a couple months later. Like, it was that moment, just poof, it just exploded. I was like, I'm going to marry this girl. That was it.
That's great.
If you're listening, take bets on which one of us gets divorced first.
Oh, wow.
Who would you say first, Trey?
I don't want to be the one that says that. I'm just saying, people. It's a game for people listening.
I don't know. I don't know.
Clearly, it'll be the jerk bag that brings up who's going to get divorced first.
Yeah, that's not a laughing matter, Trey.
You know what is a game we could play is, has your kid or did your kid ever do this? Because I find I listen into my wife's conversations because she grew up with a bunch of girls. And I hear her asking her other girlfriends that have boys, hey, does your son do this? Because she doesn't trust me. She doesn't, like Nick, for example.
Yes.
Does your son randomly scream at the top of his lungs for no apparent reason?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100% of the time. Yeah, and again, we had just told him to not do that. And then 20 minutes later, he's playing something, and he's just screaming. We're at the dinner table, and he just screams for no reason. And it's not like he's in a bad mood. He's just screaming to scream.
Thank you. You know how much better? You know how much better you just made so many parents feel.
Yeah,
that your kid is. There's nothing wrong with him. Your kid's just annoying, and that's how they are.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Maybe he's just trying to be funny, or he's just trying to get our attention. Most likely.
And Trey, what you're having a boy or a girl?
Did
you tell us earlier?
Having a boy.
So you're gonna have a random screamer. For some reason, the girls don't do that. It's just a boy thing, apparently.
I do that sometimes.
And you think back, and all those annoying things you used to do for your parents, they're gonna do it to you.
Good God.
As children ourselves, would you say that like little Trey and JC were good kids or troublemakers?
I was a troublemaker as a young kid, and then in high school, I think I was a model kid. Like, didn't ever go drink, didn't ever go do anything crazy. So I think as a little kid, I was really annoying and just like too hyperactive and wouldn't shut up, wouldn't do my homework. But then eventually, I got on the right track.
I'm the exact same.
This might yeah, I know, Nick. You've always been a good dude, probably.
I assume Nick was doing his family's taxes at like 5.
No,
100%,
no way.
dude.
No, I was wild. I was a jerk. I was an a-hole. I deserved way more spankings than I got when I was a little kid. And then, like, once I got to high school, I mellowed out for the most part.
Yeah. This might surprise you guys because you guys know me in life, but in real life. But as a kid, I was really a straight edge kid. I was really good. When it came to being with other adults and at school, I got good grades. I never got in trouble. I was the kid that was afraid to do anything wrong because I thought, I don't know. I was just that kid that was afraid of everything or getting in trouble. But at home, I was a menace for my mom, I think. I think I probably gave her a heart attack a few times because I was just a monster at home until again, high school, and you start leveling out and becoming an adult. So this is why I'm getting that payback right now.
It's nice to hear you say that because that's kind of how I was. I was just a jerk to my parents and my family, but
Yeah.
at school, I wasn't a jerk to the teacher. And so I think that's what my kid is doing to me. Like, he's for the most part
Yeah.
fine around other people. I think it's just you hurt the ones you love. Like, you're just lashing out at the person closest to you. You know what I mean? So I bet that's what my kid's doing to me now because I did it to my parents too.
Sounds like both of y'all are just terrible parents.
Maybe that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are we going to get into next week, Trey?
Why don't we start off with the biggest topic that there is in parenting, the most controversial topic there is, spanking.
Oh,
We're going to get into the spank talk.
Where do you land on it? Think about it. Make sure you have your argument ready because you know some listeners are going to come back at us with some counterpoints. So,
Of course.
I think we go directly into spanking. I know how I feel. I know what happened to me as a kid.
the conversation of spanking in 2020 is completely different than the conversation that happened in the early 90s or the 80s when we were around.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a
So
lot
that'll be
louder
interesting.
from the minority and fringe groups.
The fringe groups, yeah. That's it for the Chatty Daddies today. Thanks for getting to know us. You'll be getting to know us a lot more in the episodes to come, but we wanted this episode as the very first one so that you could just get a good baseline to find out who we are and where we're coming from. So that's it for today's episode of the Chatty Daddies. Again, join us next time when we take on spanking.